From the Senegalese in the stands, where a Senegalese flag is waving, and how high will they be waving it at the end of the game after the Senegalese made such a fine start to this competition, their biggest ever win when beating the Congolese by 4-0 on Sunday. It is going to be a very different affair today as they take on a Zambia side featuring two of the world's three most expensive women's footballers ever, in the shape of Banda and Rachel Kundananji, both of whom play their football in the United States. As for the Zambia side, just the one change today. Martha Tembo, the fullback, coming into the side. She was suspended for the opener, dropping down to the bench. Margaret Balemu, keep your eye on Grace Chanda, wearing number 10, one of the playmakers in the side, and she'll be trying to tee up the bullets for Kundananji and Banda to fire home. And as you can see, Chanda, as well as Chilufya, Priska Chilufya, walking a tightrope on a yellow card in this game. If they pick up another booking between now and the end of the group phase, they will miss their next game. However, should they not do so, these yellow cards will be cleared when the group phase ends. Also keep your eye out, Maluba, wearing number 23. Best blessing Maluba, just 18 years of age, in the heart of the defence for Zambia. Well, the referee today is Vincencia Amedom of Togo, 43 years of age. She's been a FIFA referee for 10 years now, and went to the 2023 Women's World Cup in New Zealand and Australia and officiated a game there as well. And even for good measure, she took charge of a men's game at the 2022 African Nations Championship, or CHAN, the tournament for players based in their domestic leagues in Africa. And so achieved the feat of guiding a men's game there. As for the VAR crew, Pierre Acho, the Gabonese, 32 years of age. He refereed the CAF Super Cup last year. As for Senegal, well, just two changes for them from the side that beat the Congolese 4-0, coming back into the side also from suspension. Their skipper, Korka Fowl, 35 years of age. And also coming in, a forward, Unde Awa Kase, dropping to the bench, Fatoumata Drame and Hafsatou Maladou Diallo. And keep an eye on the figures at the top of your screen. Mama Diop, wearing number 7, and Ungena Unjai, both of whom scored a brace in that defeat of the Congolese on Sunday. And they are the joint top scorers in this competition. So we are almost underway. And before we can get underway, I'm delighted to say I'm joined again by Desire Operanozie, the former Nigeria forward, a winner of this competition. Very, very briefly, Desire, what are you hoping to see in this game?
I hope to see a very interesting cracker. It's obviously going to be a tough game, perhaps a repeat of the last edition's quarterfinal against both sides, where it ended 1-1, and Zambia winning the day at the end of the day. So I think it's going to be an interesting game.
So the countdown has begun to kick off. And we are off. Senegal kicking us off, playing from right to left in all white. And Zambia from left to right in their copper shirts, black shorts and copper socks. And as Desire Operanozie says, the winner of 4 WAFCON titles, it really is going to be a very, very interesting game. Senegal making the tournament sit up and take notice of them with their comprehensive defeat of the Congolese. But how are they going to get on today against a side that finished 3rd last time around? As there's an instant run down the left-hand side from the players just come into the side. Kase and Banda. Well, she scored within the first minute of the game against the Moroccans. There was some feat. She's not going to repeat the trick, but it was 58 seconds on the clock when she did so. the second fastest goal in WAFCON history after Miriam Huij of Tunisia at the last edition. She scored within 20 seconds, would you believe? And that's a nice pass down the left-hand side into Babu. And playing it into the middle where it'll be picked up by Ngambo Musole, who has retained her place in goal today. Catherine Musonda, Zambia's #1 in the words of coach Nora Haugle, is on the bench today but is not fit enough to start. So it is a very, very inexperienced back line at the back for Senegal, which is really worth pointing out. There's an 18-year-old in goal in the shape of Njai Adji. There's a 17-year-old at the heart of the defence, Aissatou Fall, partnering Wanimata Njai, who is just 21 years of age. Adama Sane on one side of the fullbacks is 20. Mariam Babu, who we've just mentioned, 22. If you add up all their ages, they don't even come to 100. And they've got the challenge of holding Barbara Banda and Rachel Kundananji. That is going to be some test for them.
Definitely, it's definitely going to be some test for them. This is where we'll see their energy as young athletes to actually, do what is required of them and try to, cage the likes of Banda and Kundananji.
It could be a long 90 minutes, or alternatively, it could be one that lives long in the memory. We'll find out. An early corner to Senegal and an opportunity to push players forwards, the likes of Njai among them, who's good in the air and threatening from set pieces. The Senegalese player wearing number 5. In it goes, headed away by Lushoma Mwemba and picked up by Grace Chanda. And a first touch for Martha Tembo. And she puts it out of play over on the far side as she stops the run of Korka Foul. Two experienced players from their respective sides. Well, that is a Vuvuzela being blown by a Zambian supporter about 20 yards to my left or so. Shades of the 2010 World Cup in South Africa, when you could barely hear yourself think. And in the press conference and in the run-up to the game, Rachel Kundananji, once the world's most expensive women's footballer ever, until Naomi Guillaume, when she made her move to Chelsea earlier this year, took that title. And had been saying in the pre-match press conference how much she appreciated the support of the Zambian supporters, saying it's not easy for them to come along and wave our flag. And here they are, Senegal bursting through early on. What a run, what a start. Ngena Njai, well, she simply cannot stop scoring. She grabbed a double in the opener. She scored again today. Seconds on the clock again. Well, it took them 4 minutes in their opening game against the Congolese, and it's taken them just a little more on this occasion. Nearly 5 minutes on the clock, just over the 4-minute mark. And Ngena Njai has shown coolness and composure once again, and she has also become the first Senegalese to ever score in consecutive games at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, and she made it look very, very easy as she took advantage of the outrushing Ngambo Musole to fire home, and the touch paper has been lit, Desire.
That was a very good goal, an amazing goal. She knew what she wanted to do with that ball. She saw the goalkeeper step out of her line and she just paced it out, outran her marker, her defender. She took a very definite approach to make sure she finished that ball, and it was a great move by Ngena Njai. Thank you.
Well, there are 3 Njais in the Senegalese lineup, and they all have mixed up their names so that I think that we don't get all confused. 5 minutes on the clock, that's the official time given. As I said, it was 4 minutes against the Congolese. The goalkeeper's Adji Njai, but she goes by the name of Adji. Ngena Njai goes by the name of Ngena, and Walimata Njai holds on to her surname on the back of her shirt. Should we talk about the onrushing of the goalkeeper Musole, because she came out and arguably she shouldn't, and then therefore just one touch from Ngena meant that she was faced with an open goal.
Yeah, she shouldn't have made that move because the defending player was still slightly closer to the attacking player. So I think going forward, the goalkeeper should really watch her move, and this is a gift. She just gifted that goal to Ngene Ndiaye.
Well, there is the coach of Zambia, the Swiss Nora Hauptler, and before that in the glasses we saw Senegal's coach Mam Moussa Cissé. And it is very worth mentioning the fact that these two teams met last time around in the knockout stages of this competition. It was in the quarterfinals, their first ever meeting at a WAFCON, and it ended 1-1 on the night, and it went to penalties, Zambia winning this shootout by 4-2 to not just seal their place in the semi-finals, but also a very first appearance at the Women's World Cup, which they went to in 2023, as they looked long, trying to instantly try and find a way back into this game. Rachel Kundananji wearing 17 over on that far side, not getting hold of it. And at the World Cup, okay, Zambia didn't make it through into the knockout phase, but they did win their first game ever at the tournament when beating Costa Rica by 3-1. And the goal scorers that day are all on the pitch here. Mwemba, the centre-back, Banda, the striker, and Kundananji, who just plays as a forward on that left-hand side, just a little bit behind the more advanced Barbara Banda, the reigning African Women's Footballer of the Year, of course. Well, one thing we do know about Zambia, and the Achilles heel that they have, is the fact they concede so many goals, because there's no doubt that they have serious firepower at the other end, but it's just in the final third, their own final third, that they have issues.
Yeah, it's obviously a problem for them defensively, but there is no issue with the attack, because the likes of Barbara Banda and Kundananji, they're always there to make it count when it matters most. So I think the coach should take a definite approach to actually fix that problem at the back.
It is a problem that needs solving, and it is one that Nora Hauptler, as said, the 41-year-old Swiss who only took charge in January, replacing the long-standing Bruce Mwape, who had been in charge since 2018. The first woman, the first foreign coach to lead Zambia at a WAFCON. And Kundananji was speaking in that press conference about how she believes she will bring glory. Well, here is Kundananji trying to play in Grace Chanda down the right-hand side, and it comes off Chanda, and that for me is going to be a goal kick, and for the officials as well. Good defending from Walimata Njai, the 21-year-old based in France, with Tonon Evian, who gets a congratulatory hand clap from Njai Aji, the 18-year-old goalkeeper based in Senegal. She turns 19 next month. And whatever happens, this is a huge learning curve for those players from Senegal. Just Senegal's third ever visit to the WAFCON list. We forget their first in 2012 and their second 3 years ago, as they played up towards Mama Diop, who was so troublesome in that opening game on Sunday, Mama Diop, and she spoke very confidently ahead of this game, saying she wants to outshine Barbara Banda, and those are strong words.
It's definitely a strong word, and we need to see her, put in more work to actually, make that happen.
I think the phrase is, one swallow does not make a summer, but if you can be consistent and keep going, Mama Diop, and she is something in Mama of the side, as I said, is a very, very young squad. She's 30, so too Ungena. They really bring the experience in this side. Korka Fall as well, and no other player on the side is over the age of 30, and most of them are 23 and younger. And that applies to 7 of the starting 11 under the age of 23, so the future of Senegalese football in the women's game looking bright. So Babu swings this in deep, headed away, and it's still in the mix. Chanda trying to get it away, but doesn't do so. And Gunnar on the volley. Gunnar Njai. Kundananji leading the charge for the Copper Queens. Banda ahead of her, if she can find her, but she can't. Foul. Korkafal, as said, suspended for that opening game, and she will bring a wealth of experience. The only Senegalese to have played at all 3 WAFCONs. As Kundananji is in, looking for Banda, and Banda levels it up for Senegal. 12 minutes on the clock. It did not take them long to draw level, and Barbara Banda, in only her 2nd ever WAFCON game, has her 2nd goal. And she goes to the corner flag and celebrates in style, and the reigning Women's African Footballer of the Year is off the mark once again. Just a little bit of hesitation in the back for the Senegalese, and Banda pounced, and she was not going to make any mistake from there. And well, this could be, I hope I'm not giving it the kiss of death, a game packed with goals, Dizat.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like we're going to see more goals in this game. What a response that is. What an assist. I mean, Kundananji had lots of time to bring that ball down and you know, set Barbara up for that goal. What an incredible finish. Nice touch.
Well, Banda scored one in the opening game and made one for Kundananji, and now Kundananji has repaid the favour. What was so impressive about Banda's opener against Morocco on Saturday was that it was the host nation that had actually taken the kickoff. Nonetheless, Zambia made their way up to goal. Well, we talked, didn't we, about how the Senegalese defence was going to be able to cope with Banda and Kundananji. We've already seen very, very early on in this game that they might find it a little bit tricky to deal with that quality.
That's right, because I mean the combination of Chanda and Kundananji, they are very difficult to defend against. They are very athletic, very pacey, strong, powerful, and with the defense of Senegal that young, it's very difficult to defend against them.
Senegal put in a decent free kick a moment ago, and it comes again all the way through, and they could take the lead again here, but they can't, because, well, Ngena is really annoyed, because it was Meta Konde who took the ball off the head of Ngena. She's the woman who knows how to find the back of the net. Senegalese number 9, her country's top scorer. And I think if that could have been left, there you go. Well, Ngena is on a hot streak, as I said. 2 goals in 2 games so far in this competition. She also scored in the warm-up before the tournament when Senegal beat Algeria by 3-0. So she is in hot form. The player based in France with Bourges 18, or Bourges 18. They play in the 3rd tier of French football, where she was the top scorer last season with 19, Ngena. And it comes as something of a surprise that somebody who finds it so easy to score goals is playing at that level. The poor Lord ringing out for Irene Lungu on the ball here. The central midfielder for Zambia, 27 years of age, based in the People's Democratic Republic of China, as Banda trying to get in again. Out comes Adji to clear it away. She managed to keep a clean sheet on Sunday, and that's not going to be happening again today. And there's a player down though, so before this throw-in for Zambia can be taken, as we see the link-up play again, just they find each other so well, always looking for one another, as you might expect. Kundananji and Banda, and she'll be hugely relieved, Nora Halkley, as just we wait for this break in play and the recovery. And it's Kassé, the 21-year-old, who is down. She's come into the side today. One of those based at home in Senegal with Aigle de la Medina. We've got a few players in the starting lineup. 3 today. And she's up on her feet. She'll be coming off the pitch. She says she found it very hard to get into football because of societal views back home in Senegal. Her mum was a footballer, Kassé, and play is going to resume with her on the touchline as the Togolese referee signals a restart. Into the area it goes. Big header behind for a corner from Bineta Korkelsek, who sits in the middle of that park in the midfield, just in front of Neta Conde. Now Zambia piling the players forward. 8 of them in and around the penalty area at present. Pretty much all of Senegal's 11, apart from Kassé, is just coming back onto the pitch in and around the 6-yard box. Mary Willombe will take this for the Copper Queens. The Senegalese flag continues to be waved to my right and the Vuvuzela sound to my left. In it comes. Not the best delivery from Willombe. She'll get a second chance. And once again, she failed to put it into the mixer, and Zambia will just have to settle for the throw. Hard to hear yourself think at times. Grace Chanda cannot keep it in, but I think Willombe can do a lot better than that. And I'm really looking forward to both ends of the pitch, and Gena and Diop, because it really is a story of strikers here, isn't it? And Kundananji and Banda at the other end.
Exactly. So we're already seeing what we expected to see in this game. You know, tough, both strikers at both ends. You know, delivering, doing what is expected of them. It's already happening. So.
For them. So here is Banda. That's a decent ball right towards the back post. Too hard for Kundananji, who tries to spin away from her player but just runs into a white shirt. Sek will play her back into Unjai. Now to Adama Sane on the right hand side. No player had more touches of the ball in the Senegal DR Congo game then Sane, the 20-year-old right back based here in Morocco with Wida Casablanca. Chanda trying to play it into Kundananji, finds Kundananji. Irene Lungu out to the left hand side to Tembo. Tembo tries to play it into the middle and just cannons it into Korka foul. And that'll be a throw in to Zambia over on the far side. Well, a blistering start again for Zambia and for Senegal, and both these sides in both their games scoring very early goals. Into the middle it goes, cleared away, only as far as Lungu. Instantly they try and go forward looking for Banda. Banda cannot reach it, and Chilufya shoves over her opponents, and that'll be a free kick to Senegal, and it's being played at a good pace as well, and I think that the lack of heat is really helping here. We've got a nice breeze, it's not too hot, good perfect conditions for this game to take place in. Yeah,
the weather seems really comfortable, not too hot, and I think the player will enjoy playing in this kind of temperature, so it looks good so far, and I'm sure they are enjoying the game.
Meta, the ball taken off her toes by Kundananji. Lungu caught late, but advantage played by the referee. Chanda into Banda. A bit wider than she'd like to be. Chilufya in the middle if she can find her. She just stumbles. Banda. Swung in again. Up goes Chilufya! And Chilufya has the ball in the back of the net. But the referee had blown her whistle. Complaints from some of the Zambian players, but the whistle, which I didn't hear, but it had clearly gone before. And let's have a look here. Well, Chilufya standing in an offside position in any case. Good spot from the referee if it was her, because the assistant referee had not raised her flag.
Yeah, but it was a very clear view. I'm sure the referee got a very clear view on that one, and it was an easy decision for the referee to make.
Priska Chilufya, one of 3 players in this starting lineup who play their football in the United States with Orlando Pride, who Barbara Banda joined last year. Grace Chanda the other, and Banda, as is her wont, duly led Orlando Pride not only to a first ever national Soccer Women's League Shield, but also a first ever championship, being named the player of the season as she did so. That title being wrapped up in late 2024. And here she is, the Zambian skipper. Into the middle, lovely pole in on Kundananji. How did she miss? It was put on a plate for her by her teammate, and she holds up an arm to apologise as well. Well, that's one of the biggest surprises I've seen in the tournament so far.
Well, that was a good delivery from Barbara. What a miss that is. It's really unbelievable to see that miss from Kundananji. What a miss that is.
The sort of chance you would have gobbled up, Desire.
Of course, I would have just easy tap. It would have been an easy tapping for me, really. But sure, great work by Barbara.
Would have been. You scored in more than one WAFCON final.
Not one, not twice,
but
three times.
Yes.
And it was such a great feeling, and it's really great to have this kind of opportunities and make it count, because at the end of the day this might come back to haunt the team at the end of the day. So opportunities like this, they need to be dealt with and taken care of.
Well, that's what Banda did earlier on, but Kundananji couldn't follow. You got a very late winner in a WAFCON final against Cameroon with not a lot of time left on the clock. Just to remind us what that feeling was like.
It was an amazing feeling. That goal wouldn't have come any other time than when it did. It was, I got that ball, took me 2-3 touches to bury it in, and the rest was history. It was quite I think it was one of the best goals I've ever scored in my career. A very memorable one, and it gave us the trophy that we needed. That was enough to give us the trophy.
Nothing like finding the back of the net, just as we saw Ngana Njai do after just a little over 4 minutes. Nigeria, of course, record 9-time African women's champions. Equatorial Guinea with 2, and South Africa, who took the title here in Morocco 3 years ago, with the 1. And South Africa and Nigeria are the only teams on the continent to have won both the women's and the men's Africa Cup of Nations. And on that note, of course, in about 5 months' time, the men's tournament will also be taking place here in Morocco, where Senegal are trying to find a second. Mama Diop, space on the middle of the park for Korkafal, but really well read by Kundananji, who often comes back to help out the Zambian midfield, and that's one of the things that's really easy to admire about her. Doesn't just do the offensive stuff, but does the unwanted defensive work as well.
Really, that's one thing she does really good, and she have the strength to go all the way up and down, and it makes her stand out as a striker. She have that strength, that ability to help her team defensively and offensively as well.
Tireless worker, Kase, trying to stretch her legs and get in behind Mwemba as well at the back. Mwemba, 24 years of age now, will be very keen to play well today. She missed one of the Zambian penalties in the shootout against Senegal a few years ago. Here she is, just trying to get it away, but she can't do. Ngena just trying to profit from any error at the back, and then Diop just doing the pressing and keeping Zambia keen, and they will be working hard to try and stop the Copper Queens coming out from the back. Forward it goes. Njai with the header forward again into Kase. Well, she was so effective down the middle, Mama Diop, against the Congolese, that I'm slightly surprised that she's not started this game there, and instead they put Kase, who's come into the side today, very central instead.
Well, I think it's a tactical decision, a technical decision, to put her on the bench and have Kase in her place. Because they're playing obviously a stronger opposition, and I guess the coach knows why he would rather opt for the team captains over her.
Well, in the coach they trust. He's been in charge since 2019, and he said about avenging the Zambia defeat. He said it's not about that. It's about seeing if we've improved. He blamed the defeat 3 years ago, not so much on physical or technical deficiencies in his side, but on a lack of ability to manage emotions. He said, from my point of view, we had a young group that just didn't know how to manage that, but they're more experienced now. He called it a major lesson, said that they went to the 2022 WAFCON to learn. And he believes that if he has a quality group, if perfected, it could put in the performance to do something great, and that's really what he's hoping to achieve here. He says very much the quarterfinals are the bare minimum as a target, and then if they get that far, hoping to make it into the semi-finals. No World Cup qualification this time around because there's another Nations Cup, Women's Nations Cup, coming up next year. And that will be the one that counts as Kundananji takes it off the toes of Metakande, and Zambia can break at pace. Banda forced wide again, Chanda in the middle, so too Kundananji. Chilufya supporting Banda. It is still with Barbara Banda. And we're trying to fight her way through, fittingly for a woman who used to box in her youth. And there's a Zambian player down on the floor, but play is still going on. And it is not now, as you'll have heard the whistle. And it's Chilufya who is down on this near touchline. Just in a little bit of discomfort as Houtler looks on. It's her second WAFCON for Chilufya. She actually missed 2022 and played her first in 2018, but let's call it confusion over gender eligibility rules prevented Chilufya from playing in the last tournament, as it did Banda, as it did a couple of others as well. Those have been cleared up, but Chilufya said she almost thought about quitting football as a result of the fact that she could not play. And here you can see the challenge coming in very, very late on her.
Yeah, the defender was actually late on her, and but she's back on her feet now, and hopefully she gets back on the field shortly.
We're back underway as well. Foul. The 17-year-old with the clearance up towards Kase. Mama Diop turning inside Rachel Nachula. And Nachula catches Mama Diop, offers her apologies as well. She filled in at left back in the first game. Rachel Nachula, she's now playing at right back. 39 years of age, the Israel-based player. Former athlete as well, won bronze at the 2008 African Athletics Championships. Competed in an Olympics. And she is still going strong at the age of 39. Desire, you could have had a few years left in your career, I believe.
Yeah, I could have. I could have. But really, it's amazing how she still plays at the highest level at that age and still, gives everything. It's really commendable.
Perhaps your career is not over. Just 31 years of age, Desire Opera-Nozier. We shall see. I'm putting words into her mouth unfairly. Chilufya is through, and there's space in the middle as well. She can strike a goal as she does. Good save by Njai Aji to turn it behind for a corner, and that just showed how quickly Zambia break.
Exactly, that break. I expected a lot of this from the Zambians because this has been their game. Once the Senegalese play a high defense, they should be ready to trail back because the Zambians are going to explore that space behind the Senegalese defense to try and make something out of it.
So a corner. We saw Mary Wilombe take one earlier. It wasn't the best delivery. Can she improve this time around? Far better height on it, and that's a really important header as well, away by Foul. And Satu Foul. incredibly composed, just 17 years of age, and she seems a leader in the making, the way she's just taking on this responsibility despite her tender age. She's only turning 18 in December.
Yes, but that's what goalkeepers do. You know, they are leaders on the team, and I mean, all those aerial duels, she should be able to take care of it, take charge, and control the defense. And I'm glad she's doing it right, getting it right in that aspect.
Well, after that blistering start, we've had a few players down with injury. Chanda has gone into the notebook, and that means that Chanda will be out of Zambia's final game of the group stage. The Zambians play the Congolese in this stadium on Saturday, which is when Morocco, who face the Congolese tonight in Rabat, well, Morocco will be taking on Senegal. Both those games kicking off at 8 p.m. local time, and look at the reaction of the Zambia coach. Immense frustration for her. And this is a bit of a worrying delay, and she's having words helped her with the fourth official. And she's very, very unhappy about that caution being given the way of the 28-year-old Chanda. She's got a mixed record at tournaments. She missed the Women's World Cup because of illness on the eve of the tournament, only returning nearly a year later. Then she was badly injured at the Paris Olympics last year, rupturing a quadriceps tendon. She had joined Pride shortly before it, and then she didn't play until March of this year. And now she's picked up a yellow, which means that her campaign is instantly interrupted. So she's going to hope to make the most of her display here. I guess one way of looking at it is it gives opportunity to other players in the next game.
Of course, and that's where we as players, when you have such opportunity, you have to make it count. Hopefully the person that gets to fill in her space will do as good as she has done, or if not better.
She made the best 11 in 2022, Grace Chanda, a key figure who just plays in behind the likes of Kundananji and Banda, who's trying to get past foul. Hint of a handball. Banda just kept on going, tried to play it into the middle, couldn't do so. Sek goes down in the area, caught late. And remonstrations from Kundananji, which is suggesting that the Zambians are very, very unhappy with the Togolese referee in these last few minutes. And still she goes, she's got to be careful here, Kundananji. She doesn't want to talk her way into a yellow card. Chilufya, the only other Zambian who could join Chanda in missing the next game. And well, there's the handball from foul, but on Banda went. And then there was a clearance. And Kundananji, well, does she want more? Well, I think she caught Sek before Sek caught her. Your thoughts on that, Desire?
I think the referee made the right decision. The player was only trying to protect the ball, and I think it was a good call by the referee.
Meta. Senegal, we've not seen too much from them after that blistering start. Instead, it's the Zambians who've had the better chances. Chilufya with that disallowed goal, Kundananji missing that sitter, and then Chilufya forcing that save from Adji. Here is Ngena. Nice turn to create a little bit of space to where the byline she goes, and she just runs out of space, but a little drop of the shoulder. She's such a fluid player, Ngena, and she just glides past pairs with ease.
Yeah, very fluid, and you see her switching positions. She can be in the middle this minute, and the next minute she's on the side. That's, I think she's a very mobile player. She doesn't like staying at one position to execute games, which is very good for an attacker.
Danger on both flanks for Senegal, but we've yet to see Mama Diop, the Marseille player, having any real impact. Here is foul at the back for Senegal. It's a long looking for Ngena, cut out by Mwemba. And Meta just puts that into touch, and Zambia will have a throw over on that far side. And at the moment, it is just going from left to right, the traffic. Zambia definitely having the better of it. They couldn't take all their chances against Morocco. 12 strikes on goal, sorry, 12 shots towards the goal, 8 of them on goal, on target. And Noah Halpler, the Zambia coach, was very rueful. And they don't want to be doing the same again and not earning the maximum points by not taking their chances. Meta, only as far as Banda, who picks it up. Chilufya, back to Banda. At pace they go again, Zambia. There's too much on that, though. They just ran away from Barbara Banda. She's full of running, Banda, isn't she? And she's so purposeful and clearly absolutely bang up for this and hunting for glory and for titles.
Yeah, you know, she's very athletic, and the team understands this about her, and I think they have actually built the team around her. So each time they have the ball, they are looking for her. They will put it in space for her to run, and she gets to the ball every time they set her up with it.
Hugely imposing figure at the front line for Zambia. They've got to be careful here, Senegal. Adji up towards Korka foul. And Ngena will try and pick this back up, but that's a really smart turn from Martha Tembo, 27-year-old based in Turkey. Mwembalong. Banda. Ball taken off her head by foul. Diop. Chilufya forward to Banda. Banda turning away from foul. Kundananji in the middle. And she'll just play it back into Nachula. And Nachula hits her long, and that's just going to go straight into the arms of Njai Adji, who is something of a newcomer to playing in goal, because she had a different position for Senegal's under-20s, didn't she?
Yeah, and I'm sure if there's anybody that understands how strikers score goals, I think the Senegalese goalkeeper Adji have that experience more than every other person on this field, because she played for the under-20 as a striker, and now she's, you know, between the sticks for Senegal. It's incredibly amazing, from being a striker to becoming a goalkeeper and #1 goalkeeper for your country. I mean, how it can be more incredible than it is right now.
And such a young age as well. She also not just kept a clean sheet in her opening game against the Congolese, but she had an assist for one of Ngena's goals as well. What a start that is. And they're trying to be played in. Foul with an important clearance. Kassé drops deep to try and get this away. Diop, can she win the header? She can't. And there's a break in play, and that's good refereeing, because I think there was some sort of a clash of heads potentially, and there was no doubt in the eyes of the Togolese official to instantly stop the game, sec the player down. Cisse looks on. Well, she went down in the first half against the Congolese. Sec. That's not the clash of heads. It's, oh, did she just pull a hamstring there? I thought there was a clash of heads, but I think Sek might possibly have gone down without anybody around her.
Yeah, looks like it's, I don't know, I hope it's nothing serious. Looks like it's a hamstring or something. They're spraying her leg or something, but I hope it's really nothing serious, because this is definitely going to be a blow on the Senegalese team, because she's one of their key players.
She certainly is in the heart of that midfield. Bineta Korkel Sek with Aigle de la Medina. Well, she's hobbling off, but she pulled up with no one around her, which is often cause for concern. The 27-year-old trudging off the pitch, and I think she's going to be okay to continue. It's going to be a Zambia free kick. This first half has flown by, just 5 minutes or so. And just under 5 minutes until we find out how much additional time. The Vuvuzela has not stopped, sadly. It's Mary Willombe. A mother of one. Plays it out to the left-hand side into Kundananji. Tembo. Something of a hopeful ball forward, but the ball had gone out of play over on the far side near the halfway line, so this will be a throw to the Senegalese. And they started their campaign last time around with back-to-back wins against Uganda, Burkina Faso, before losing to the host nation Morocco. And they'll be very keen to repeat the feat today, and at the moment they are lucky to be clinging on to this 1-1 at present, given the chances missed by the Zambians. Lungu. Up in towards Banda, well read. Babu to cut it out, but Chilufya picks it up. Nice ball into the middle. Here is Banda again. Chanda, well, he crashes it into the backside of Barbara Banda. She caught that well, Grace Chanda, but the danger's not fully cleared. Well, a little bit of momentum going to go now as it goes out to Tembo, and Wilombe will just play it back into Mwemba. That was well struck from Grace Chanda, and it would have been interesting to see where that would have gone had Banda not been in the way. Chilufya into a bit of space for Chilufya. And she strikes a goal, takes a deflection off foul, Aisatu foul, and then into Korka foul, and Kase drops the shoulder and tries to get away from Tembo, but she can't get away from Mwemba. And a good little spell of play, and Chanda can consider herself unlucky. And good defending there from Mwemba. Well, it's had some of the best pace that I can recall from some of the games I've seen so far here. Obviously the heat sometimes affects them, but Zambia do play so direct and love to get the ball forward. They do not take their time. And here's Jop, who we would like to see more of. Jop goes down, but she wins the free kick, and that's the sort of good hold-up play you'd like from a striker. Your thoughts, Desire?
Yeah, I mean, it's when you're under pressure, just like as we've seen over a couple of minutes, and Zambia have given Senegal a lot of pressure, and the best thing that Senegal can do is, hold the ball, try to keep it, and what Diop have just done, hold up play, very good, and she was able to win that ball for Senegal.
And just relieve, as you say, some of that pressure on the back line. So Babu standing over it. Well, Njai is not in the middle, but normally she makes a nuisance of herself in the air. The 21-year-old centre-back, instead she's standing alongside Babu. Is this some sort of smart routine from the training ground? And it is Njai who takes it, curls it in this time. Mwemba with the header. Babu tries to come in. Tembo drops her shoulder, and then she's caught very, very late. Well, play goes on. The Zambians are very unhappy about that challenge on Tembo, and now it is spotted by the referee. And Martha Tembo was caught late and upended as well.
Yeah, and it was late. That was definitely a foul, but I think referee had allowed an advantage play, to see what can actually come out of that attack. So I think it was just an advantage play. But I think the referee is going to revisit that as well, probably to caution the player that made that tackle. Yeah,
absolutely, because Nora Halklet is still, I think, smarting from the yellow card given to Grace Chanda early in the game. They're going to be 7 minutes of additional time here as Sek goes into the book. She looks pretty unhappy about it as well. The referee also having a word with Korka Foul, the Senegalese captain, and with Cisse the coach as well, and you can see just how late that was, and I can't really... Well, that wasn't the challenge, that was a foul on somebody else. But Sek was very, very late. And she will have to be careful in the second half. As said, 7 minutes of additional time. We've just passed the first minute of them. Well, we were hoping for a fascinating game as we approach the half-time whistle. We still don't know which way this one is going.
Well, it's a tight game. It's obviously a tight game. Senegal, they've done a very good job at containing the attack of Zambia.
So far, foul. Under pressure from Banda, hits it long to the namesake foul, Ungena. Kase cannot hold on to it. Banda. Kundananji. Banda in the order, takes a deflection, goes behind for a corner. And just look how many Zambian players were in and around that 6-yard box. Kundananji, Chilufya, Chanda, Banda. That's pretty much their most, well, their attacking four, as it were.
Yeah, Chanda, Banda, Chilufya, they are all club teammates, so they've attained an insane level of understanding amongst them.
It's the Zambian supporters you can hear roaring their team on. Into the middle it goes. Meta with a really important header to get that away. Kundananji picks this up. Onto her left foot. That's nicely played into the middle. A bit of space. Can they profit? Oh, yes, they can. And who else but Barbara Banda? No, the flag has gone up. It will not count. Well, she took it superbly well, and she thought she had given Zambia a 2-1 lead in first half stoppage time. And I'm sure this will be reviewed. Let's have a look. Good ball in from Kundananji. You can clearly see that the player who got the touch onto Banda was very, very offside. And for the second time in this opening period, Zambia have a goal disallowed for offside. When it clicks, it's going to be fearsome from the Copper Queens. But we saw there Banda's unerring finishing, didn't we, Desire?
Yeah, we did, and as expected, she slots it in, even though it was offside.
A minimum of fuss. Chilufya in the middle as Kundananji goes charging forward. Good goalkeeping from the teenager, Adji. Well, Zambia really should be in front by now. Can they find what they need? There's a hand up there in the area. Strike a goal and just whistle past the left-hand post. Mary Wilombe it was who struck that well from distance. And thus bringing increased noise from the Copper Queens fans. I said earlier that she was a mother of one, Mary Wilombe. She actually scored while pregnant prior to having a child, and look at that, really wasn't very far away at all from Wilombe, and that can be chalked up as another chance for Zambia that has not been taken, even though that was going to be some strike to go in from there. Chanda, Kundananji doesn't win the header. Chanda picks it up. Still Grace Chanda for Zambia. Let's fly cannons into Njai. Ungena, such a great pace about this game, but then Ungena gives it away to Kase. And Njai again goes forward, but there's a foul in the middle of the park, and you can just catch our breath a little. Keep on saying it, but a great pace about this game.
It is insanely, the tempo is really high, and Zambia have been the team giving lots of those pressure, and Senegal have actually done very well to contain them. The aerial balls, they've managed to keep Zambians away from those aerial duels, and they've really done well in that aspect.
So just under 90 seconds of the half remain. Pumped into the Senegalese area. and wisely just guided out effectively by Marem Babou, the 22-year-old with Strasbourg in France. That was pretty cool defending. The thing about Zambia is that just every minute they seem to have a chance in the final third or do something. And they've only got a minute left, or so as said. Corker foul into Sek. Sek looking for Ngena, headed away by Mwemba, who stops it getting to her. Lungu, Chilufya, and taken off her head by foul. And Banda with the flick on into Kundananji. And it's anywhere will do time at the back from Adama Sane, who just wanted to get that away from the threat of Kundananji at the expense of a corner.
Yeah, that was a perfect decision. The best thing she should have done in that situation. She didn't have time to control that ball and do anything meaningful with it. That was the best decision for every other person to come home and defend the corner.
Well, they're only about 20-30 Zambian supporters, but they do make themselves heard. Striker goal again, coming in from Barbara Banda. Aji, good handling. She's been impressive in this opening half. The youngster hasn't dropped a thing. And look at that first touch from Banda. Really nice to take it away, give herself the space to get in a strike. Excellent football. And well, the half-time whistle blows on what has been a terrific opening half here in this Group A encounter. Very quickly, Desire, your thoughts on that opening half?
Well, it was quite an explosive half. I mean, we've seen the likes of Irene Lungu, with good ball distribution, and we saw the Senegalese team. They won most of the aerial duel, which was good. So I think what they should, do more coming into the second half is to just try and cut off those ball supply to Banda, and I think once they can do all of that, they will feel better. And also on the side of Zambian, Kundunaji, a lot of time when they have that breakout runs, I think she should be a little bit patient with her ball supply to Banda. Sometimes she's always in a hurry to give Banda the ball when she's still trying to run into position and all of that. So it was quite a great first half.
And Ghana enjoy with a goal after 5 minutes. Barbara Banda levelling up after 12, and goals disallowed from Chilufya and Banda means that at the break it is Zambia 1, Senegal 1.
This is Racing Today Mzansi.
Your favorite horse racing show with more action. You have to bet for the winning horse.
You can bet on the fact that me and my squad will be going out of our way to fill up your wallets and broaden those smiles.
Experience the exhilarating horse racing competition in the land by tuning into Racing Today every weekday at 5. Catch all this action everywhere for everyone on SABC Plus and SABC Sport. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
60 years ago, I embarked on a journey to understand the places and the people of this amazing planet we live on. But time moves on, and so do we. Now I'm going back to see what happened to the places and the people I used to know. All these years later, what remains of the wild places? Is there still time for us to make a difference on this small planet?
The longest snake in the world.
A remarkable and thought-provoking documentary series, Wild World Diaries. Friday, 7:30, SABC2.
30 years ago, a moment united a nation.
That is it. The final whistle then. South Africa win this Rugby World Cup final by 15 points to 12.
Now, the vibration rises again. From the heart of Mzansi to every corner of the country. The mighty Springboks take on the Azori in a clash where history meets destiny. This is more than a match. It's a country moment.
They've worked hard for it, have the South African team. And
Celebrate the 30th anniversary of our 1995 Rugby World Cup victory. Watch South Africa versus Italy, Saturday 12 July at 4 p.m. Live on SABC2 and streaming on SABC Plus. Download the SABC Plus app now. Switch, stream, no subscription. SABC Sport, for the love of the game.
They all believe they will be crowned champions, but gold medallions are reserved for the best of them all.
Your champions of the Women's African Cup of Nations.
It is the incredible clash of the 12 African women's national teams. Catch all the 24 matches of the Capital Energy's Women's Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2024. From 5 to 26 July 2025 on SABC Plus, S3, SABC Sport on DTT Channel 4 and SABC radio stations. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
This is Racing Today, Mzansi.
Your favorite horse racing show with more action. You have to bet for the winning horse.
You can bet on the fact that me and my squad will be going out of our way to fill up your wallet and broaden those smiles.
Experience the exhilarating horse racing competition in the land by tuning into Racing Today every weekday at 5. Catch all this action everywhere for everyone on SABC Plus and SABC Sport. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
And the table is set for us to be served with a delicious football.
On a return to international football. That is it. That is the final whistle. South Africa, after 5 attempts, have finally claimed glory in the Women's African Cup of Nations final. They achieve immortality as they claim their first title.
South Africa, show your love and support for the WAFCON defending champions by Banyana Banyana. Witness the Capital Energy's Women's African Cup of Nations Morocco 2024. From 5 to 26 July 2025 on SABC Plus, S3, SABC Sport on DTT Channel 4 and SABC radio stations. Proudly brought to you SABC Sport.
Yeah, boy, yes, it is that time of the week, NBA Life Signs in.
The game is bigger than just basketball. It's a whole lifestyle.
The first half comes to an end in dramatic fashion.
But NBA, double hot. You think I'm lying? Bona when yourself.
This is where style meets skill and legends are made. Catch all the culture, the highlights, and the stories that make the NBA. NBA Live, Thursdays at 6:30 on SABC Sport Channel and Sundays at 1 on SABC2. Also available at your fingertips on SABC Plus. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport, for the love of the game.
30 years ago, a moment united a nation.
that is it. The final whistle then. South Africa win this Rugby World Cup final by 15 points to 12.
Now, the vibration rises again. From the heart of Mzansi to every corner of the country. The mighty Springboks take on the Azori in a clash where history meets destiny. This is more than a match. It's a country moment.
They've worked hard for it, have the South African team. And
Celebrate the 30th anniversary of our 1995 Rugby World Cup victory. Watch South Africa versus Italy. Saturday, 12 July at 4 p.m. Live on SABC2 and streaming on SABC Plus. Download the SABC Plus app now. Switch, stream, no subscription. SABC Sport, for the love of the game.
This is the top 14. Another season of the collision between the best teams in the league. The intensity is building up. The ball has landed. Whoa! That tackle! The shoulders come in, the scrum is locked. Don't miss top 14 rugby action. Catch all this action everywhere for everyone on SABC Plus and SABC Sport. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
SAFTA award-winning reality show The Tastemaster SA is back every Tuesday evening at 7:30 on SABC2.
They hit, it's tense.
The ovens are hot, but the competition is even hotter as 10 culinary talents compete for over 200,000 Rand in prizes.
Oh, you can feel the palpable chaotic energy.
Watch as they take on weekly cooking challenges and present their best dishes to impress celebrity chef Zola Nene.
The pressure is getting worse. Clock is ticking.
They're all hungry to win, but only one will taste the title.
Oh no, the situation is unraveling. I am panicking. The time is going. The Tastemaster kitchen does not wait for anyone.
Catch the new season of The Tastemaster SA. Tuesday evenings at 7:30, repeat Wednesdays at 1 and Sundays at 4 p.m. Only on SABC2.
It was end-to-end in that opening period. Albeit often the attempts or the ball flowing towards the Senegalese goal. In case you joined us late, Ungena Njai opened the scoring for Senegal after 5 minutes. She is now the competition's top scorer in, yes, its infancy, with 3 goals from 2 games. And then Barbara Banda, the reigning African Women's Footballer of the Year. Well, she has scored in every WAFCON game she's ever played so far. Okay, it's just a 2. But she has 2 goals to her name as Zambia's top scorer. Has 60th goal for her country from her 67th game. Really is some record. Zambia kicking us off in the copper shirts. And Senegal. Both these sides, as I said, making such fast starts to their opening games with goals. Can they repeat the feat in the second half? One wonders. Senegal have a free kick on the right hand side. Sorry, not a free kick, a throw in which Sané takes. Well, and they'll get another one as well as they go up the right hand side. I think an early goal for Senegal could really set this one alight, just as happened in the first 5 minutes of the first half. Sané swings it in. Lungu just gets that away, Irene Lungu. Corker foul. Trying to play it into Sek. Not managing to find her. Chanda, booked in the first half, is going to miss that final game. Zambia play here in Mohammedia, just on the outskirts of Casablanca, 25 kilometres north of Casablanca, on the way to the capital, Rabat. The stadium hosted the African under-17 WAFCON final in April when Morocco beat Mali to win the title. Kunda Nanji, loose, foul, tries to play it through. Lungu cuts it out. Kunda Nanji will get another chance to play it forward to Banda, uses her strength to hold off Njai, but Njai was unfairly impeding Banda, and that's a free kick to Zambia and an opportunity to get their players forward.
Exactly, and Banda have done a great job to, commit that defender and get her team to come up.
Good hold-up play, as we might come to expect from the 25-year-old. Nominated for the Ballon d'Or last year and the FIFA best. Wilombe knocks it into the middle. Diop with the header away. Kassé only as far as Tembo and Chilufya. We'll go back in. Zambia will have to build again. Wilombe sending Blessing Maluba far further back than she might like. Blessing Maluba made her debut against Morocco in the opening game for the Zambians. What a platform to do so, and she did very, very well, the former under-17 player. She's actually a defensive midfielder, but under Kauptlev she's been filling in at centre-back, as the Swiss coach has seen things that others may not have done. Banda on the charge for the Copper Queens. She goes down under the challenge from foul. Nothing wrong with that in the eyes of the Togolese official. Up towards Diop, who has started this second period a little bit more central, and with Kassé on the left, and I wonder how that will help the Senegalese. Ngena. She's got Kassé to her left. Nice run this from Ngena. She's pretty tidy with the outside of her foot, as we saw in the opening game against the Congolese, where she played a lovely ball out to the right-hand side to tee up a cross that came back onto her head for Senegal's fourth. He's Kassé. Still she goes, Kassé. She's one who's only come into the side recently. Kassé only made her debut for Senegal in May. And I think bringing Diop more central tells us that playing Kassé in that position in the first period didn't really work.
Yeah, it didn't, and that's why Diop have to, come back in the centre at the start of the second half.
Neto Conde goes long into no one in particular. Tembo. Wilombe. Lungu. Mwemba. Towards Chandra. A little bit of space for her. Finds Kundananji. And that's a really solid tackle that comes in from Walimata Njai, captain Senegal when winning the WAFU Zone A in 2024. Senegal having also won that title, the inaugural edition of the WAFU Zone A, when it was first played in 2020, but they lost it to Sierra Leone just a couple of months ago as Zambia looked long. Out comes Njai Adji. She goes down. Once again, the referee not blowing her whistle, and Banda looking to pounce on that. And Adji alert again. She's been a busy goalkeeper, but she's doing really well so far.
She is actually, and she's done so well thus far. She's been playing as the last defender, and she's coming out to cut up all those ball supplies. I think it has really helped Senegal in this game.
I mean, you don't often say that goalkeepers need a breather, but I imagine she was happy to have had one at half-time. Here is Kundananji, who make it 2-1 to Zambia. And she makes no mistake, Rachel Kundananji. Anything Barbara Banda can do, I can do too, says the 25-year-old. Her second of the tournament. And it's double trouble from the Zambian duo of Banda and Kundananji. And what they could not do for the last half hour or so of the first half, they can do in the opening 5-6 minutes of the second. And Zambia belatedly, deservedly lead by 2-1.
It is indeed double trouble. Banda is pressurizing on the other end, Kundananji is pressurizing on the other end, and it was a deadly mistake from the Senegalese defense, and Ndiaye backed that ball, and they had to pay dearly for it. What a finish it was, what a drive, and it's quite unfortunate that Adji had to concede this goal, but it is what it is. Kundananji, a well-deserved goal. It's been a long time coming, and what a great finish.
Well, she was entirely exposed, the 18-year-old goalkeeper at the back. No one anywhere close to Rachel Kundananji, who now has her 5th goal at the WAFCON. She scored 3 in 2018, which was and still is the most ever by a Zambian in this tournament. And she's got 2 so far, and so does Banda, and that means that 4 joint top scorers in this WAFCON are all on the pitch in the shape of Kundananji, Banda, and Ngena, who's on the ball now, and Jop up top for Senegal, who's barely had a sniff so far. Sek down the right-hand side for Senegal. Well, in the run-up to this game, Mama Jop said, "I like to feel like I'm scary in the box. That's where I feel alive." And it'll be interesting to see what she can do in this second period, having had to be a patient figure on the left-hand flank in that first half. Chanda. It's not Chanda, it's Kundananji, I think, who's down on the floor. She's holding her right shoulder, but thankfully she seems okay. Well, they missed so many chances, and they had those goals disallowed as well. And I imagine that Zambia's coach will be sitting a little bit more comfortably, perhaps not now, because that's not the most convincing goalkeeping by Musole. Njai for Senegal, let's fly from distance, ambitious effort. And a goal kick to the Senegalese, but if I was a Senegalese player, I'd be thinking to myself, let's put Musole under some pressure, because that was not the best and smartest and most confidence-inspiring bit of goalkeeping.
Exactly. We could say some of the mistakes she's been making, all those aerial draws, she should take care of them, but that is not happening. So I think Senegal should, pump in some of those aerial balls for them to, actually make something out of it.
There's just a little hold up in play, which means something is being checked. Let's have a look. Swung in this cross.
No, that's a handball.
You think there's a handball in there, says Desire Operenezie, the former Nigeria goalkeeper. Let's have a look here. So there, it hits the hand of Nachula, does it? Well, she wasn't looking at the ball. There was certainly no intent, but these days that doesn't seem to matter too much. It was Jop who had the header, headed it against the arm of Rachel Nachula. And there may well be cheers to my right-hand side from the Senegalese contingent if Vincentia Amadom decides to go and have a look at the VAR screen. Well, we had 2 goals in the opening 12 minutes of the first half. Are we on for that again? And at the bottom of your screen you can see the VAR check is ongoing. It would be pretty harsh in some ways if this was given, but these days any handball inside the box does tend to result in a penalty. Your thoughts, Desire? You spotted that very instantly.
Yeah, it does result in a penalty, most especially if the ball seemed to be going into the goal, because in this case I think that's what it looks like. That ball probably was on its way to inside the goal, and then the hand may have obstructed it. I think the referee is going to give this one. I think so.
Okay, the thoughts of the former Nigeria great. Alongside me, well, Musole came and completely missed it. Jop just saying that she wants to feel scary in the box, and that's where she feels alive. And that was a really good header. Kept her eye on it, trying to guide it just inside that near post. No doubt about the fact that it has hit the right wrist of Nachula, the Zambian fullback. And a lengthy look at this from the Togolese official. Back and forth we go. Well, it was Senegal who led early on in the first period for Zambia to draw level. And now, after Zambia have gone ahead and come from behind to do so, it may well be that Senegalese who pegged them back from 12 yards. Well, this is taking some time, but a decision has been made, and what will it be? All eyes on the Togolese official, a long-standing FIFA referee. And she's issuing a yellow card to Nora Cautlet, and that's simply frustration from the Swiss coach, because she's just seen her side forge ahead, deservedly so, and it's very, very possible that they're going to find themselves at level in just a few moments from now. But no, it has not been given. Well, what on earth do you make of that, Desire Operanozia? You're shaking your head as you look at me.
I mean, that was obviously a goal scoring opportunity. That ball was probably going in, and I know it wasn't an intentional handball, but then, I mean, the referee have made a decision, so we have to respect it.
That's very diplomatically put. Well, Zambia possibly having got away with one. Interesting decision. She stays with her on-field decision. That's Vincentia Amadom. You don't always see that. Often the trudge to the VAR screen means only one thing. Not on this occasion. And I think the most relieved woman in the stadium right now will be Rachel Nachula. Be very interesting to hear the thoughts of Mama Moussa Cissé, the Senegalese coach, after the game about that. Kindananji, Banda, just touched in. Two touch by Njai. And Senegal are going to make a substitution as they try and find a way back into this game. Well, Meta Conde, who just sits deep in that midfield, is coming off. And coming on in her place, Fatoumata Dramé, who played in the opening game and was dropped to the bench this time around. Also coming on, another who was dropped from the first game, Hapsatu Malado Jallo, based in Turkey with Galatasaray, and Kassé, the young striker who was thrust into action in this game. Well, it's not really come off for her, and Cissé has made his changes, and Malado will take up a position on the left-hand side, and this has got a far more familiar feel to it from the Senegalese. Malado on the left and Genna on the right, and drop down the middle as Seck tries to find the back of the net from distance. That was going to have been some strike from the midfielder. Kassé, who's just gone off, did score a brace on her debut in May, and then followed it up with a goal in Senegal's final warm-up before this tournament, and that might have been inspired Cissé to thrust her in. But he's reverted to type now. Here is Seck. Sané forward. That's a lovely touch inside to Ngena. She goes down, and there it claims arms outstretched from Cissé, the Senegalese coach, for a spot kick. She's still down on the floor. Ngena. This will be looked at. And Banda, well, she can't keep that in. And, well, we have another decision for the referee. Ngena Njai down on the ground. Look at that touch from Mama Diop. The question here is, how much of the ball did Martha Tembo get and how much of the man? And there was a super challenge from the Zambian in my eyes. And yours, Desire?
Yeah, it was a great challenge from Tembo. I mean, her only business was to clear the ball, and she did that. I don't think there was a contact on Diop.
It was a risky challenge, let's be fair, and she had to get it exactly right, and she did.
Yeah, it was quite risky, but she did the job.
Smart defending from Martha Tembo, who played every minute of Zambia's 2023 Women's World Cup campaign. Appearing in her 3rd Nations Cup. They both Olympics as well, just a key cog in the Zambian backline. And showing her experience, years of them, right there. Job comes deep here, takes it off the toes from Tembo again. Kundananji trying to play it forward to Chanda. And to the delight of the Zambia supporters, they've got to throw on the halfway line. They will seemingly cheer anything.
Really, they will cheer anything at this point. They are excited, they are happy, their team is ahead.
Kundananji beats one, then another, into Chilufya. And just hacked forward by Senegalese. Fatoumata Dramé with her first involvement. Forward they go, Ngena trying to just lift it over the top of Musole. Didn't manage to do so, but inventive, because that was a tricky opportunity and she had to really work to try and fashion something, and nice idea.
Yeah, she tried to get something out of that ball. The pressure was on her, and I think she made the right decision, because the defender was really on her.
Well, we saw Mama Diop score a goal like that against the Congolese outside the area, lobbing the goalkeeper. Tricky technique. She got it absolutely right on this occasion. Senegal not managing to do so. Kundananji cannot keep that in, just right in front of the Zambian bench and in front of our commentary position. You wonder when this game might slow down a tad. Ngena. Sek. Plays it forward to Diop. Does really well to show her strength to hold off Mwemba. Into the handball in there from Chanda. Play on. Wilombe forward looking for Banda. Njai hacks it up. Right into the Mohamedia sky. And then Kundananji, well, she's just pulled by Sane. No foul given. Throw into Zambia. And it continues to be end-to-end.
Yeah, it continues to be entertaining, high tempo. And I think the Senegalese, they've continued to leave their back very open for Zambians to, continue to load those balls behind them.
She's just such a threat, this woman, Barbara Banda, whenever she's on the ball, and I think she gives the defenders here sleepless nights. Here's Chilufya, chance at goal, and really important block coming in from Babu. And it goes behind for a corner. And she just spun away. Priska Chilufya had a sight to a goal, the 26-year-old. But really smart defending by the Senegalese. Did exactly what she had to do. Mariam Babu, the 22-year-old. But they just look so dangerous when they come forward. And it's at the back where they have the issues, as we've said before. Copper Queens going in search of a third. Into the middle it goes, as over Adji, and she gets really lucky as well, because the ball just bounces back to her, but she came, she flapped, and she got a little bit of luck, and possibly deservedly so.
Yeah, she got a little bit of luck. I think she should have taken care of that ball aerially, but then she missed it, and then fortunately the ball just falls in between her hands, so that was a lucky play right there.
It could not have gone into a better spot.
Exactly.
For her. Based at home with AS Bombay. Here's Njai Adji. Scrappy in the middle, and Senegal waste no time. Trailing with just over a quarter of the game to go. Ngena stopped resolutely once again by Tembo. He's putting in a really good shift down that left-hand side. Zambia are going to be making a change. Their first of the game. And Frida Mukoma, the 18-year-old forward, who came on in the opening game against Morocco, and really impressed despite her age, and is coming on, and she's got just under 25 minutes or so to make an impact. Just 18, maiden cap last year, scored a hat-trick in it, and it was only at the start of last year that she was called up by the under-17s, and she's already based in China in the Chinese Women's Super League. She's on. Kundananji charging forward. She needs to play it, and she has played it. She just delayed the pass by a fraction, otherwise Zambia were in behind Chilufya. Here's Banda. Options in the middle, a bit of space as well. Well, here we go. She's just come onto the pitch. Oh, she can't wriggle her way through. And what an impact that would have been from Mukoma. And as I said a moment ago, Chilufya was through on that inside right channel, and just needed the pass, just needed to come to a bit earlier, and they were in.
Yeah, and then she delayed that pass just by a few seconds. Kundananji, if only she had released it earlier, I'm sure they would have made something out of it.
Well, an anxious look on the face of Zambia's Swiss coach, and she will be very, very keen for a second goal to put this game to bed. I say a second goal as in a 2-goal advantage. And Sek plays it in, and up goes Jop, and that's exactly why she's looking worried. And Jop rose, and there was a really good cross in as well. But Jop cannot add to her goal tally, and it stays Zambia 2, Senegal 1. And on this occasion, Musole got enough on it.
Yeah, that was a very good delivery. She made a good contact. If only she had directed it away from the goalkeeper, I'm sure that ball would have gone in. But good save by the goalkeeper, by the way.
Well, that just shows you what happens when you put Diop central, far more involved. Hit her standing right foot. Ngambo Musole played all 3 games at the Paris Olympics for Zambia, conceded 13 goals. Was that remarkable game against Australia where the Zambians led and then lost by 6 goals to 5. Banda scoring her 3rd Olympic hat-trick in that game. They've got a free kick on the right-hand side in a promising position, and that's a yellow card as well for foul. She's not going to be forgetting this game, I don't think. Satu foul. As I said before, just 17. But this is just a brilliant learning opportunity for her. And she has acquitted herself admirably in the 70 minutes we've had so far. So Walombe can put this in. Banda in there. Chilufya as well. Mwemba. And we can score from set pieces as well. And the Copper Queen find a copper-shirted player. Studious look on the face of the 27-year-old. Outswinger, in deep. She's come again, Ajin, she's missed again. And Kundananji just knows exactly what she's doing there. And lets it go out of play in the corner on this near side. But Aji, having started so well, is not looking so good from these crosses.
Yeah, I think since after she conceded that goal, the second goal, I think she haven't really, gotten back to herself. We've seen her, cut off all those aerial balls, and ever since she conceded that goal, she hasn't really, gotten it right.
Well, she's got more defending to do, and if they put this deep Zambia, they might find she does the same thing, or will she get a proper connection or 2 hands on it? They take it short on this occasion. Wilombe, she does go deep, and up goes Aji, and she does really well. 2 solid hands on it, and then she instantly tries to release Malondo, but it comes straight back. She might have been better holding on to that. Kundananji down the right-hand side, Banda in the middle. Zambia coming forward, looking for a 3rd, and it's turned behind for a corner. And she wasn't offside, Kundananji, and Banda was ready to pounce. And Senegal are rocking. To the delight of the band of Copper Queen supporters, who have given absolutely everything in support of their side. Well, she did very, very well there. the Senegalese team goalkeeper. But she's going to face more pressure again here. And once again, a very congested 6-yard box, all right in front of the Senegalese stopper. Chilufya right next to her. Banda not too far away. Mwemba as well. Wilombe with the delivery. Really good header away from foul. Makoma. Wilombe. Nice back heel from the midfielder into Makoma's path. Can she get the cross in there? 4 Zambian players in the middle. And here's Kundananji, really good save, but it's not enough because the ball comes back out to Barbara Banda, who scores Zambia's third, her second, her third of the tournament, and finally the Copper Queens put daylight between them and their Lionesses of Senegal. Well, Adji could prevent Kundananji, but the trouble is that Banda is there as well. And for what, the third time today, even though only 2 of them have counted, the star Zambian striker has got the ball in the back of the net. This time it counts, of course, and Zambia now lead by 3 goals to 1. She made it look supremely calm and easy, and the celebration shows just what that meant to Barbara Banda.
Yeah, it meant a lot, and what a goal that was. I think Ndiaye, the Senegalese defense should have taken care of that. If you're keeping players onside, you don't leave 4 of them at one end in front of your goal. Four opposing players in front of your goal, and you're on the other side of the goal. That doesn't. It's not a good defending in any way, and I think they should have taken care of it. And even when Adji, made that save on Kundananji, the defender should have been there to clear that off. But fortunately for Banda was there to just have it an easy tap in. What a goal that was, and it's obviously put to bed at this point. They lead by 3 goals to 1, so I don't think Senegal is actually coming out of this.
Well, Senegal, who could have gone through with victory today, trail by 2. They've been blown away. It's just been relentless from Zambia in their bid to go forward. It's been an absolute delight to watch, and they have deservedly edged themselves in front with some comfort now, and Noura Halpler not looking quite so anxious. There's been a substitute for Senegal while that goal and the celebration and kick-off was happening. Sek, who was on that yellow card, coming off. And Sadi Gatu Jallo, a 22-year-old midfielder, in her place as Jop picks it up. That's header from Jop, and that save from Musole. A few moments ago looking so important now. Banda, Kundananji steaming forward in the middle. Here is Banda looking for Kundananji, but she can't find her, and that'll go out for a Senegalese goal kick. But the desire of Kundananji just burst through the middle was very noticeable there.
Yeah, I mean, her pace is incredibly amazing. She runs really fast, and I mean, you could see how she was, able to run all the way, but unfortunately, Barbara just couldn't get the ball across to her.
Is there any combination that links so well in this WAFCON? We will find out between now and the final on the 26th of July, of course. But at the moment, it's not looking like it, and at the risk of repetition, they are 2 of the 3 most expensive women's players of all time. So, is it any huge surprise? Makoma into Chilufya. Chilufya plays it back. They don't often go backwards, Zambia, but they did on that occasion. And here is Chilufya. To the byline she goes. Makoma's in the middle, and Makoma should have made it 4. Oh, she will not want to see that again. Pitch perfect delivery for her from Piskra Chilufya. And the young 18-year-old could not gobble up the opportunity given her way. Your thoughts, Desire, on a horror miss from the substitute?
What a miss.
Well, hold that thought, because Ngeno's gone through, and Senegal have got a penalty because Musole has brought down Ngena And now there are calls as well for some sort of a caution. It's just going to be yellow for Masole. And Ngena Njai, who scored Senegal's opener, it seems like a long time ago now, has won her side a penalty. And I said how hard Zambia had worked to get their 2-goal lead. They might find it is reduced again. We talk throughout this game about end-to-end action. Just when Makoma, we should have been talking about her horror miss. Instead, we're talking about a penalty at the other end.
Exactly. And moments ago, I was talking about how Zambia have put this to bed, but right now it doesn't look like it. I mean, Senegal have a penalty, which if they convert, and I mean, it still leaves the game very open, you know. And then it's one miss from the other end, and then it's an opportunity on the other end. Mukoma have definitely had a direct impact on the game since she came on, but I mean, missing that easy tap in, it's unbelievable. And what a great delivery from
Chilufya.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, Masole is down. She absolutely took out Ngena Njai. They swept forward at pace to the Senegalese, responding from that wasted miss that would have put the game to bed. And instead, Senegal can give themselves a massive lifeline and way back into this game just when it looked like they were down and out. Masole has been shown the yellow card. Zambian fans not convinced by their goalkeeper. And just a little touch from Ngena. And boom. And she came an awfully long way from her goal, Masole.
Yeah, I mean, she should have done better. She was late, and what a bad tackle that was. And Ngena, kudos to Senegal. They are doing everything to make sure they stay in this game, and they are really, giving in everything and fighting for the points.
Well, she scored 2 goals in the opening game. Ngena Njai, the 30-year-old, and she could become repeat the feat and how this needs to go in for the Senegalese. They lost on spot kicks to Zambia in 2022. This presenting an opportunity to get themselves back into the game. Up steps Ngena Njai, and she makes no mistake. Masole went the right way. Ngena Njai grabs her second of the game, and with 10 minutes on the clock, it is Zambia 3, Senegal 2. And we may just have a grandstand finish that this game deserves. It has been pulsating from the start. And Ngena's coolly taken penalty means we've got an edgy finish, again an exciting one, we hope.
Yes, I mean, what an exciting game it's been. 5-goal trailer, and we could still see some more. It's really an amazing game so far, and I think with this goal, Senegal is willing to fight some more and see if they can get an equalizer from this.
Well, what is left? That's the question. It's had a lot. Senegal denied a penalty earlier. They've scored this one. We've had an open goal missed. We haven't had a red card, thankfully. And Senegal coming forward now. And Ngena Njai again. Malondo at the back post if she can find her. And instead, Masole gets her hands on this one. The Zambian fans to our left blow their vuvuzela, clap their hands, and possibly more in relief than anything. But she's so dangerous down that right flank, Ngena Njai. How on earth is she playing in the 3rd tier of French football?
I don't understand. Maybe bad agent, because with what we've seen from her so far, she deserves to play at the top, and maybe with a good agent, she can make that move.
Lovely skill from Sané to lift it away from Makoma. And then she's in again, and Ngena Njai. Well, this is a repeat of just a moment ago. Malondo in the middle. She tries to just go round and didn't deliver it. Ngena And it'll be a thrown in, nothing more, to the Senegalese, who are fighting to remain unbeaten in this competition. And Zambia, they do make life difficult for themselves with the amount of goals they concede. And it has happened again. Sane with the throw. Kundananji with the tackle, and just a little bit of feist between Sane and Kundananji. Kundananji not giving the ball back. Over comes the referee. Banda coming to have a word with Kundananji, and she'll be advised just to tell her teammate just to step away. This is needless, but it tells you everything about the tension on the pitch right now.
Yeah, emotions are very high. I mean, both teams, they are very I don't know, tension is obviously high, and I mean, they're just battling it out there.
Well, I thought she was going to do a drop ball at one point. I couldn't understand why, but it was going to be quite an interesting one to see between the two players that had a tussle. Instead, Sane just holds it back to Njai. Forward into striker goal, and just straight at Musole from Jallo, the substitute. Didn't get everything behind it, to the relief of the Zambians, but it was a smart ball into the box, and she turned well enough, and she just couldn't get the power to beat the Zambian goalkeeper. Here's Mukoma, dispossessed. Ngena, drop in the middle. Malado too. Ngena, she drops her shoulder again and then tries to beat Mwemba. Back into Jallo. Good defending there from Mukoma. And forward, who's come back to help out in defence in the penalty area. And Zambia making hard work of this. They should be out of sight. Instead, they are clinging on at the moment for what would be their first win of the campaign. Swung in by Corker, foul. I think one Zambian caught another in the face with the high boot. Well, the game's being played on, and Kundananji is just charging forward. Run out of puff, but there's going to be a break in play here. It was Mwemba who went to clear it, and she caught, I think it's Irene Lungu, in the head. And Lungu's down in the penalty area, hasn't moved. And we hope she's okay, of course. And it gives Counselor a bit of thinking time as well as to whether she might want to tighten this up somehow. I can't imagine Zambia making defensive moves and trying to solidify things, but arguably that's what she could and should be doing.
Yeah, that is it, because right now Senegal, they are throwing in everything they've got to see if they can get something out of this game. So I think on the part of the Zambian coach, she should, tighten things up and make sure they don't concede.
Well, Zambia are looking for their first win in any game, friendly or competitive, since April when they beat Uzbekistan in an invitational tournament in China some 5 games ago. They were 2-1 up against the Moroccans with just 3 minutes to play before Rizlain Chebak scored that stunning equaliser. And then the Moroccans really thought they could go on and win it, unlikely as that was. 2-2 it ended, of course, in the opening game in Group A and of the tournament. Lungu thankfully back up and just trudging around the distant edge of the pitch before she's going to be able to come on. It means we're going to get a little bit more additional time, and it's going to only add to the tension. Senegal long towards Job. Now Chula filling in at left back. Lungu coming off. And Ngena has just shoved the ball in the face of Rachel Nachula. And things are just threatening to spill over. Banda having a word with the referee, trying to point that out, and Kundananji just telling Ngena just to calm it down. Well, just a moment ago, it was Kundananji who needed calming down. It's all beginning just to bubble up, and is it going to spill over, Desire?
Yeah, that's the frustration. I mean, Ngena wants the ball to get in play quick because she's losing. She wants the ball on the field, and Zambia is taking their time because they are leading, so it's well understandable.
3 minutes of the regulation, 90 to go. Zambia. He kicked us off in the game of the tournament against Morocco, and this has arguably eclipsed it. Kundananji can't get the header. Lungu forward, trying to play in Mukoma. Foul leaves it to Adji. And Adji will just pump this forward. And Achula will pick this up, but she won't, because it comes to Ungena. No one around her. And she just falls backwards. She needs to go inside, which she does. To the right-hand side to Jallo, the substitute. Sané delivers this deep up towards Diop again. Musole comes, spills it, and still it's not cleared, and still Senegal come forward. It's desperate stuff at the back. Mwemba, Kalka foul for Senegal. Twist and turn for Malado. That's really nice play from her. Her shot is smothered. And then Zambia will pick it up with Mukoma after a nice touch from Chilufya, but there's another player down, which means that player's going to be held up again. But Malado did really well there over on the far side in a really crowded area to wriggle and find the shot to get the space to get the shot away.
Yeah, she actually did, and that's the pressure we're talking about. I'm glad that Senegal, they are giving in everything, and now Zambia is the one under pressure. They are trying to defend the one-goal lead, and Senegal is throwing in everything at them. So this is very tense now, and it's quite good. It's very entertaining.
Well, I wonder if that's going to be looked at, because not that one so much, but the challenge from Lungu on Drame. So much going on. Mwemba, the player, down. Zambian fans in full voice. You could only imagine what they'll be like in a full stadium in Lusaka. And smattering of them, but they are and have been making themselves heard throughout the 90 minutes. The last of which we are now in. Well, we had 7 minutes of additional time at the end of the first period. I wonder what we're going to get on this end of the second period. Mwemba just waiting to come back on. Kundananji forward to Mukoma, comes off her back. Sané, Lungu, Wilombe out towards Chilufya. Headed away towards Malado, but picked up by Lungu. Chilufya. She can deliver a good cross, as we've already seen. And she's under pressure from Malado, who comes back. The Senegalese wide player offensively, and Banda tries to play it forward but only plays it into the back of Mary Wilombe, and then she catches her opposite number, Barbara Banda. Diop. There will be 10 additional minutes at the end of this game. Well, Zambia don't do things easy, and it's a long time for them to hold on. And well, we had Senegal rocking a few moments ago. Now it's the Zambian back line. Forward it goes. Ungar sniffing. Ungena. She's got it back as well onto her left foot. Teed up to Korka, foul. And foul cannot keep it down. Well, that was an opportunity. She was well found. And one of Senegal's chances, last chances, goes begging.
Yeah, and I mean, she should have brought that on target. That should have come on target. But then bad technique. She should have done better with that.
Well, Helpless face has got that familiar worried look on it again. She's been coaching since 2009. She's been a TV pundit at home as well. And she's watching on in real discomfort as she looks for her first win at a WAFCON. She guided Ghana in qualifying and got them here. And then the opportunity came to take charge of the side that finished third last time around and went to the Women's World Cup, of course, as well. What an opportunity. She's living dangerously, as is her side. And that's taken a deflection and gone behind for a corner. Jallo been really involved, the 22-year-old, since she's come on. So we're into the second minute of the 10. Sané will deliver this. The height of Diop, an obvious target. So too Ngena, of course. Korka foul also a towering presence in that Zambian area, but it's going to find a copper-shirted player, not a white one. And Makoma just hits it up, where Mama Cisse looks like a goalkeeper, such is his desire to bring the ball back into play. That's what you want from your coach.
Of course, when you're losing, what choice do you have? Bring the ball back on the field. Let's play.
Yeah, Sane. Oh, lovely footwork from Sane to go past Barbara Banda, no less. And Machula touches it out. And this is a throw into Senegal, deep inside Zambian territory. And Cisse in charge since 2019. There's another Cisse in charge of Senegal, given a lot of time. And he went on to win the men's AFCON. I'm sure that Mama Moussa Cisse can only dream of emulating his counterpart Aliou Cisse, who of course led Senegal's Teranga Lions, not Lionesses, to their first ever Nations Cup title in Cameroon 3 years ago. Diop, that's a nice ball forward towards Malado, just too much on it, but lovely idea from Diop, and just too heavy a touch.
Yes, too heavy touch, and the pressure keeps building up. I don't know for how much longer Zambia is going to hold on to this, but Senegal is throwing in everything.
Well, we're so used to seeing Zambia just pile on the pressure, but now it is the Senegalese who are doing exactly that. Foul. Well, did that come off a Zambian player? I think it did, and I think this is going to be a corner to go the West Africans' way. Well, they're taking their time to decide the officiating crew, but it has indeed gone to the Lionesses of Teranga. And another opportunity to test the Zambian defence. They've taken it short. Swung in. Up goes Diop, straight at Musole. She's such a focal point, Diop, and she often gets her head on it as well, and often finds the target as well. Impressive in the air.
Yes, very impressive in the air. She have the height, and I think over time she's really worked. She knows that's one of her strengths, and she utilizes it very well.
And here's Banda trying to get away from Diop. Diop doggedly sticking to her. Kindananji can't get onto it because Njai gets it away. And Adji plays it up to foul. Miscontrol from the Senegalese. Chilufya. Room to deliver across here, and Kundananji's unmarked, or was, until Sane came back to pick her up. Well, this is sensible play from Chilufya. Game management, just taking it to the corner flag to lighten the load on Zambia's defence, relieve some of the pressure. I think that's the first sort of negative move I've seen from Zambia all game. And I think in the end they've actually awarded is that a free kick that's gone Senegal's way? Yes. It is, and they've taken it as well. Njai under pressure from Kundananji here, and made light of that pressure. Did Walimata Njai, and then Jallo absolutely unceremoniously dumped over by Banda. Senegal take the free kick quickly. Sane, Ngena trying to find a way past Nachula. Sane again. Jallo, Diop in the middle. Well, that is incredibly high. Not very handsome. And Zambia will have a goal kick. You're smiling, Tazar.
Yeah, I mean, she should have done better with that ball. When you're losing, you got that opportunity in that opponent's goal area. You should take your time. What's the worst that can happen? They will kick you, right? So try and put the ball down and see what you can make of it.
Absolutely. Put it in the mixer,
yeah.
See what comes out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just under 4 minutes to go. Zambia, who knocked Senegal out in the last 8 3 years ago, on the verge of not doing so, but certainly winning again. As Makoma just needed a touch. Foul, survives. Babu, long, up towards Diop. And really good defending that by Maluba. Stuck doggedly to her task, but Diop, I think, is straight offside, and this will be a free kick to Zambia. And it will just stop that Senegalese momentum once again. Senegal taking on Morocco on Saturday night. Morocco playing the Democratic Republic of Congo in just, well, exactly an hour from now in the evening game. And the group is going to look very different after that one, but at present Zambia are going top with 4 points. Should it stay like this, Senegal will remain on 3, and then Morocco on 1 and the Congolese on 0. Well, they'll be looking to amend that when those two latter sides meet in the capital Rabat. Banda, bit of space, driving forward, roared on by the Zambian supporters. Kundananji playing the blocker to ensure that Senegalese opponent can't get anywhere near Banda, and Banda's gone to the corner flag, and this shows you exactly what this result will mean to Zambia. Can they get over the line? Well, Banda's down, and Senegal have got another free kick. And they're asking why. Jallo just getting on with it. She's then brought down by Chilufya. And Senegal have a free kick. And we tick into the 99th minute of this hugely entertaining WAFCON game.
Yeah, I think Zambia is trying to manage this game, and so far they've done really very well. And you could see Kundananji blocking off a defender from getting to Banda.
Well, you can see she plays in the United States, can't you? I've rarely seen that. Makoma through the middle, but Njai Adji is really well positioned to read that. Gone high, plays it up to Diop, and Ghana through the middle. But that's well read by Martha Tembo. Interesting that Tembo and Nachula have switched flanks. Kundananji clatters into Njai. Play on, says the referee. Pumped forward by Drame. And then high by Sané up towards Malado, and she was too forceful, the Senegalese number 17. And that'll be a free kick to Zambia with 50 seconds or so on the clock. That might just be enough. They will take their time here.
They will definitely take their time. They've done really well to, keep the Senegalese at bay, and it has worked for them so far. Banda is no longer playing forward since Makoma got on, and she's done the defensive work very well, and they are now doing it as a team collectively, and they've been able to manage this game.
A little push in the back, you can clearly see from Malado on Martha Tembo. And Tembo is taking her time here. I would have thought really what they want to do is just get this game done and dusted. And we don't know, of course, how serious the injury is. And there's going to be a change, but the stretcher is on the field of play. There's a Zambian substitute being warmed up. She's very carefully lifted here, the Turkey-based Tembo. And you can see heavy breathing from the likes of Kundananji as Martha Tembo gets stretchered off the field. We'll be interested to see if she's okay, and we clearly hope she is. It didn't look that tricky, but who knows how she fell.
Yeah, it didn't look that serious, but now she's been stretched out of the field, and looks like they're going to sub her, so I don't know, perhaps fatigue, or maybe she was injured really.
In the 102nd minute we now go into. How much time is there going to be? All eyes on the referee. Have Senegal got a dramatic equaliser in them? Foul forward up towards Malado, who was just up against Tembo in this position. Onto her right foot, Malado strikes a goal, and it doesn't beat the Zambian defender, and Banda just hacks it up towards the halfway line. Makoma. Space on this right-hand side for Sané if it will get to her. Wilombe with a really crucial touch that takes it out of play, where Senegal pick it up and get up. To the byline she goes, into the middle, and she can't get the cross right. And is that it? Was that the moment for Senegal? Well, there's going to still be time for a Zambian substitution. Margaret Belemu dropped for the this game. Is on. Tembo is off. And surely, we are moments away from Vincencia Amedom of Togo. And the official in the middle, putting her whistle to her lips. Zambia holding on against a gutsy Senegal side. And there it goes. Zambia have beaten Senegal by 3-2 in a hugely entertaining WAFCON game. Rachel Kundananji sinks to her knees in celebration. Their coach Noura Hauptlick congratulating all the staff. It was hard fought for the Zambians, and Senegal really made them pay. They took the lead, the Lionesses of Teranga, from Ungena Njai after just 5 minutes before Barbara Banda converted after 12 minutes into the second half, after an opening period when Zambia had 2 goals disallowed. Rachel Kundananji gave Zambia a 2-1 lead early in the second period before Banda extended it 21 minutes from time, and then just 10 minutes from time, and Gena got her second of the game to reduce arrears to 3-2 in favour of the Zambians, setting up what was a really interesting finish. But Zambia have held on to win their first game of the tournament and to go top of Group A, possibly temporarily ahead of Morocco meeting the Congolese later on Wednesday. But it has ended in Mohamedia, a hugely entertaining game and a vital victory.
Yeah, boy, yes, it is that time of the week. NBA Life Signs in.
The game is bigger than just basketball. It's a whole lifestyle.
The first half comes to an end in dramatic fashion.
But NBA, double hot. You think I'm lying? Mona, when are yourself?
This is where style meets skill and legends are made. Catch all the culture, the highlights, and the stories that make the NBA. NBA Live, Thursdays at 6:30 on SABC Sport Channel and Sundays at 1 on SABC2. Also available at your fingertips on SABC Plus. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport, for the love of the game.
30 years ago, a moment united a nation.
That is it. The final whistle in South Africa win this Rugby World Cup final by 15 points to 12.
Now, the vibration rises again. From the heart of Mzansi to every corner of the country. The mighty Springboks take on the Azori in a clash where history meets destiny. This is more than a match. It's a country moment.
They've worked hard for it, have the South African team. And
celebrate the 30th anniversary of our 1995 Rugby World Cup victory. South Africa versus Italy, Saturday 12 July at 4 p.m. Live on SABC2 and streaming on SABC Plus. Download the SABC Plus app now. Switch, stream, no subscription. SABC Sport, for the love of the game.
This is the NFC TV.
It's a special edition of LFC Champions.
Yep, it brings you the latest league news and highlights.
Liverpool FC could not stop smiling.
Across goal, Lewis.
From insightful analysis and interviews.
Glorious Liverpool goal!
You've announced your retirement from football at the end of this season. 7 years with Liverpool, 5 of those as captain as well.
Here at the Premier League. Catch all this epic action and updates everywhere for everyone on SABC Plus and SABC Sport. Proudly brought to you by by SABC Sport. This is the Top 14. Another season of the collision between the best teams in the league. The intensity is building up. The ball has landed. Whoa! That tackle! The shoulders come in, the scrum is locked. Don't miss Top 14 rugby action. Catch all this action everywhere for everyone on SABC Plus and SABC Sport. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
30 years ago, a moment united a nation.
That is it. The final whistle then. South Africa win this Rugby World Cup final by 15 points to 12.
Now, the vibration rises again. From the heart of Mzansi to every corner of the country. The mighty Springboks take on the Azuri in a clash where history meets destiny. This is more than a match. It's a country moment.
They've worked hard for it, have the South African team.
Celebrate the 30th anniversary of our 1995 Rugby World Cup victory. Watch South Africa versus Italy, Saturday 12 July at 4 p.m. Live on SABC2 and streaming on SABC Plus. Download the SABC Plus app now. Switch, stream, no subscription. SABC Sport, for the love of the game. 30 years ago, a moment united a nation.
That is it. The final whistle then. South Africa win this Rugby World Cup final by 15 points to 12.
Now, the vibration rises again. From the heart of Mzansi to every corner of the country. The mighty Springboks take on the Azuri in a clash where history meets destiny. This is more than a match. It's a country moment.
They've worked hard for it, have the South African team.
Celebrate the 30th anniversary of our 1995 Rugby World Cup victory. Watch South Africa versus Italy, Saturday 12 July at 4 p.m. Live on SABC2 and streaming on SABC Plus. Download the SABC Plus app now. Switch, stream, no subscription. SABC Sport, for the love of the game.
This is the NFC TV.
It's a special edition of LSE Training.
Yep, it brings you the latest league news and highlights.
Liverpool FC could not stop smiling.
Across goal,
From insightful analysis and interviews.
Glorious, glorious Liverpool goal.
You've announced your retirement from football at the end of this season. 7 years with Liverpool, 5 of those as captain as well.
Here at the Premier League. Catch all this epic action and update everywhere for everyone on SABC Plus and SABC Sport. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
Yeah, boy, yes, it is that time of the week. NBA Life signs in.
The game is bigger than just basketball. It's a whole lifestyle.
The first half comes to an end in dramatic fashion.
But NBA, double hot. You think I'm lying? Mona, when are yourself?
This is where style meets skill and legends are made. Catch all the culture, the highlights, and the stories that make the NBA. NBA Live, Thursdays at 6:30 on SABC Sport Channel and Sundays at 1 on SABC2. Also available at your fingertips on SABC Plus. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport, for the love of the game.